Hello, everybody, and it's time for another vlog post of Unveiling the Spirit with me, Sage the Coach, also known as Stephanie K, where I like to unveil spiritual truths behind contemporary topics, everyday issues, relationship issues, and personal struggles. And today for my vlog post, or my vlog post this week, I have a guest that was on my podcast of last week or a few weeks ago about his book called Porn and the Whole Truth and Nothing But the Truth. And he talks in that book about coming to terms with his pornography addiction and how he got over it with the help of God and knowledge and wisdom and things like that. It's a very, very great book. And I really hope you guys check it out if you haven't checked it out already. And also watch the video that we did if you want more information about the book before you make the purchase. But today we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about if God chooses our mates for us. I did also post about this a while back, but I'm really happy to do this post now with a male to get a male's perspective on this topic. So, Mr. Burrows or Jay Burrows, what is your opinion on if God chooses our mates for us or not?
No, he does not. We take our own choices in this life. That's why we have free will.
And that is kind of what I believe as well. The idea in and of itself that God has this one person for you that he has chosen you to be with for the rest of your life, just like you said, it totally goes against free will. And there's a lot of things in the Bible that indicate that choice is up to us. And me and you were talking a little bit about this before we started. So can you go into why do you think that? What is your proof or evidence that God does not choose our spouses for us?
My evidence is simple. It says that he that findeth a wife, findeth a good thing. You have to seek, meaning it's not going to be right there in front of you. Out of all the women that you find, they may not be wives. They may not be in the wife category. It's just the same thing. If you flip it, if you're looking for a husband, if I'm out here running the street and not settled down, I'm just with this woman and that woman, I'm not going to be very appealing to you. So it goes for both ways. It goes for man and woman. You have to find each other. You have to find the person that you're looking for. Yeah. It's not going to be just right there in front of your face.
Yeah, and I think that's an important factor because even God is not right in front of our faces. We have to seek him. And so seeking is a very, very a major component of Christianity all throughout the Bible that we have to seek. I mean, even if you look at Moses, he saw the bush that was on fire. He had to go seek and say, what is this going on here? If he'd have just kept like he didn't care, then he would not have had the opportunity to meet his God. And so, it says, do not be unequally yoked. So if it's telling you not to be unequally yoked, that means you can marry somebody who you're not yoked with, which means it's your choice. And so you have to be very careful because I know a lot of people who marry somebody and then they say that God sent them that person and then the relationship doesn't work out and then they turn around and blame God. So you have to be mindful of the choice that you're making because you do have some say-so in it. God is really all about free will. He's not going to, he's not a hover parent. Like he doesn't hover over us. He gives us the choices and he respects our choices, whether they're good or bad or whatever. He respects our choices.
Absolutely.
And he's giving you the criteria that you need to make a better choice in this area. So no, it's not that always that God is going to, where it's not that God chooses our spouses for us. Mr. Burrows, Jay Burrows, I want to ask you this. If you pray to God and ask him for a spouse, not just have this idea that there's this one special person for you or that God is going to choose somebody for you, but what if you ask him to choose somebody for you? What do you think is the case in that scenario?
I believe in that scenario, he's going to work on you. God has a way of cleaning us up to prepare us. So let's say you're a man and you're looking for a wife, but you don't have a job. You're not the greatest provider. You're not even in that. You've just been so self-absorbed. First thing he's going to do is clean you up, get you out of yourself, get you employed, get you doing things that are going to be able to reflect that energy to a woman who's looking for a husband, who is a wife. You draw that, you'll be able to attract that. But if you're just out here running amok, you'll never be able to attract something like that. Another thing I think it is with a lot of people, I think people are lazy. So They use God as the excuse. Oh, God's going to send me a husband and I'm going to sit right here and just wait for it.
Yeah.
You're not doing any work. You're not doing anything on yourself to try to better you. So it's just like when he says call things into existence, right? Okay, so if you have been praying for a new home, what's some of the things that you would do if you're praying for a new home? Buy paintings to hang in your home, furniture, things like that, because these are the things that you would need in a new home. And if you really believe in what he's saying to you, then you go out and do those things. It's not a risk, it's what you do. So if I want a wife, I got to make sure I can provide for this wife. I got to make sure I can be able to provide for her, several kids, depending on what we're having. Am I going to put her in an apartment with me, or should I get a home for us? You know, if I'm not presenting these things to you, then I'm not looking very attractive to you either.
Right,
you can be the best woman in the world, but I'll miss you because I didn't do my part.
Exactly. You like, there's nothing that God does for us that he doesn't prepare us for first. Like he's not a halfway God. He's not going to give you the keys to a brand new car you don't know how to drive. Like he's be a huge ministry and you don't know how to teach. Like he's going to prepare you for the position. Now it's still up to you to utilize that car and that ministry and things like that once he gives it to you the way that he wants you to, because you can still mess it up. So even if he gives it to you, this doesn't mean you're not going to have any problems because it's your responsibility. But I like that you kind of hinted to that you can be prepared for that, and God will prepare you for that. And I do think you can pray and ask him for a spouse, because it's like, if he's our dad, just imagine your son or daughter, like, you know, in other countries they do those like arranged marriages and stuff, and do that. But if your child came to you and said, you know, Dad, I really trust your judgment and I need you to pick a good guy for me, of course you're going to be like, I'm going to do my best, you know. You go to God, our Father, and say, hey, I need you to really pick somebody for me. I don't think he's going to say, no, that's your choice, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be like, try to help you find somebody. But I think it's so key. He's going to prepare you first. And he sees the areas that you're not prepared in way more than what you see. Because sometimes people think they're ready and they're not. So that's it for Unveiling the Spirit. If God chooses our spouses for us or not. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure you come back next week for my show Outside the Box, and another Unveiling the Spirit blog post where I unveil spiritual truths behind contemporary topics, everyday issues, and relationship issues and personal struggles. All right. Thank you. Bye.